And the purpose of this workshop is to start this dialogue within you, because unless this dialogue starts, let this dialogue starts, and when you try to search the answers for this, that is how you can develop the right understanding. So process is that of dialogue between me and you to begin with, and soon it becomes a dialogue within yourself, and it is the dialogue between two, what I really want to be, my natural acceptance, my intention, what I really want to be. In fact, when Didi had asked this question, do you want to live with a feeling of a relationship or opposition? Then what was the answer? That I want to live with a feeling of relationship. I want to live with a feeling of a relationship, and that is the desirable state. But what is my present status? Sometimes a relationship, sometimes opposition. And now as I start exploring that, if I am able to see that very spontaneously without referring to any book, without asking any friend, I have given the answer that I want to live with a feeling of relationship. That is what I really want to be, and that is what we call as my natural acceptance. It is my inner voice. When this question was asked, did you ask your friend, neighbor, that what should be the answer for this? Yes? No. Let me ask you one more question. Do you want to nurture the body or harm the body? You want to nurture the body. Now, while answering this question, did you refer to any book, Google, as nowadays we do? Do you ask any friend? The answer came within, and that is my natural acceptance. That is the natural acceptance, and it is same for all of us. When if you ask this question, right now maybe we are around 60, we can say participants, and you can say are there. But even if, what do you think, if I ask this question to some person outside this seminar hall, you want to live with a feeling of relationship or opposition, what do you think the answer will be? Relationship. So that is the natural acceptance. It is same for all of us, and that is the intention. For all of us, the intention is same. But what happens, since this lack of the right understanding is there, I have made many assumptions, and with these assumptions, when my living is happening, this second part, what I am, my desire, thought and expectation, that is my competence, the way I am living presently. That this is what I really want. What I really want to be, I want to live with a feeling of relationship, but this part, sometimes I am able to live, sometimes I am not able to live. And now with this question, this dialogue starts within me. Even when this question was asked, do you want to nurture the body or harm the body? You say, I want to nurture the body, but somewhere you must have recalled that I am not really doing it. For example, Bhaiya shared that he goes for walking. The moment he said he goes for walking, what you felt, what was the thought running in you? Oh, I am not doing it. I should have done it. Yes, no? I also need to go for walking. Did this thought run through you? Yes, no? Because my desirable state is, my intention, my natural acceptance is, I want to nurture the body. I want to take care of body by providing proper food, by doing the exercise, and like this. So this dialogue is between what I really want to be and what is my present status. What I really want to be, always relationship. But then what is the present state? Sometimes relationship, sometimes opposition. And when I'm able to really live with a feeling of relationship, they are in harmony and I am comfortable within myself. But whenever there is a feeling of opposition, when they are in contradiction, unhappiness, and that sometimes opposition that leads to the contradictions and that leads to the unhappiness. So these are the two states. One is desirable state and one is this is the desirable status, or you can say whereas this is the present status. And purpose of this workshop is to initiate this dialogue. And as I start exploring, if I have given this answer, if this is my inner voice, if I listen to my inner voice and I start exploring, I'll be able to see that this is what is makes me comfortable. As I start living with this, it will lead to continuity of the happiness. And that is the purpose of the workshop. Any question here? Yes?
What I understood that natural acceptance.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Is based on the following questions that are there at the bottom in yellow box. What I am, what my desires are, what my thoughts are, what my expectations and what my confidence are, all these things, they lead to natural acceptance. Say, there is no, if someone says this is your limitation, there is forced acceptance. If you accept it, it is forced acceptance. If you start exploring yourself and believe, yes, this is my capability, this is my limitation, beyond which I cannot do this. Suppose I might be having the desire to run for 1 hour, say, but I don't have the capability to run. I can just walk. That is my limitation. If I explore and accept, that is called natural acceptance. Instead of someone externally probing you or pushing you to accept it. That's what I understand. Isn't it?
My natural acceptance is what I want to be. Here when somebody tells me, maybe you can say somebody tells me to run for 5 kilometers, but when I ask my question, do you want to nurture the body, do you want to take care of this body, my answer is yes. That is my natural acceptance, and with this now I can take the decision that does my body have the capacity to run for this much. If it is there, if I have got the practice daily, I am running, then it is okay. Otherwise I will say no, let me practice and one day I will be able to run for that. What I will do, you can say, I will try to refer to my natural acceptance. This natural acceptance is an innate faculty available to all of us. And with this we can answer the questions to be. For example, now you want to live with a feeling of relationship or opposition, the answer is I want to live with a feeling of relationship. You want to nurture the body or harm the body, I want to nurture the body. You want to be happy or unhappy? Happy. You want trust or mistrust? Yes. You want respect or disrespect? What is naturally acceptable to you? Respect. So that is my natural acceptance, and every time I have this feeling of respect for somebody, I am comfortable. The moment I am thinking of showing disrespect for somebody, maybe that person is not even aware. He is talking with somebody else, but now if I am having this feeling of disrespect for him, I am uncomfortable with him. Because I am not now, right now, my imagination is not as per this. And so this natural acceptance is an innate faculty. It is same for all of us. But what happens, because of the lack of the right understanding, we'll see this part, desire or expectations, we can say more in detail. One full session we'll try to explore this part, okay? Now whatever that is going on in my imagination right now, it may not be same as this. In fact, this is what we are saying, sometimes opposition, sometimes relationship. As I start, my present status is sometimes this and sometimes this. But now as I start developing the right understanding, then now that if I am able to see that this relationship is what that makes me comfortable every time, then I will try to live with relationship. I will be in harmony. I can ensure the continuity of the happiness. Now presently both of these are there. I will try to work for this. Yes. We'll see this part, we can say, because we have to discover our natural acceptance where we want to reach, and that is my intention. This is same for all of us. We have to ensure this dialogue, to ensure the harmony within, and evaluate. In fact, we'll need to evaluate this part. In fact, that is the purpose of this workshop, the content of the self-exploration. Then what we are going to really explore? We will try to explore what is my desire, what you can say aim, objective and purpose, what I really want to achieve. We have got so many desires. Can you just, in fact tomorrow or you can say we'll make a list of that, but can you just share any one desire? Can you just share any one desire? Yes?
What is the branch like one second?
Yes?
That's the desire. What?
You want to see the?
See that and read those 2 points.
Okay, yes. So this desire is there. Now just tell me, now when I showed you this again, what you felt? Happiness. So if you just check all my desires, in fact I have got so many desires, and behind all these desires there is a basic desire that I want to be happy and prosperous. For example, one desire may be I want to be healthy. Why I want to be healthy? That will make me comfortable. One desire is that I want to get the promotion, because I think when I get the promotion I will get more salary, I will have more powers, I will get a separate cabin, and that will make me happy. I want to, maybe I am staying in a rented home, I want to have my own home, because I think by having my own home I will be happy. So behind all these desires, okay, what is the basic underlying desire? That I want to be happy and prosperous and I want its continuity. But since I am not working, I have not been able to develop the right understanding, I have made many assumptions, I really not able to understand the role of the physical facilities. Sometimes I feel prosperous, sometimes I feel deprived. I'm not able to ensure the continuity, even though I want it. We'll see that. So first, the content of the self-exploration is desire part. Once, yes, any doubt about this? That this is what I want. What I want? Happiness, prosperity and its continuity. Once I am able to identify what I need, second natural step will be to have a program to get that one. That is a program, the process of achieving this one and what I need to do that. So that is first identification of my goal, and second is the program to realize that goal. That is the content, and second is the process of the self-exploration. Process is whatever said is stated is a proposal. Don't assume it to be true or false, but verify on your own right, self-verification. Now content is my, you can say, happiness, prosperity and its continuity. Let us try to find out, do we desire for happiness? In fact, if I just ask you to write down the desires, many times we feel that they are unlimited, but if we start making a list, 2 or 3 pages, beyond that we will not be able to write anything. That is the general, you can say, experience, or you can say observation. But do we desire for happiness? When I start writing all my desires, Behind all these desires, there is a basic underlying desire that I want to be happy and prosper. And that's why we call that one as a, we can say, the basic desire. Do you desire for prosperity? Each one of us wants to be prosperous. Do you want its continuity? And if continuity of the happiness and prosperity is ensured, then what else would you desire? By developing the right understanding, if you are able to ensure the continuity of the happiness and prosperity, what else you want then? Yes? What after that?
Yes, yes.
Just stay happy, and we don't want anything beyond that. We just want to continue in that state of happiness and prosperity. And that's why that is the basic desire, we say. Basic human desire. Beyond that, we don't want anything. But otherwise, the remaining desires, we fulfill that one. Next one is ready. We wanted, when we were in the 10th standard, we wanted to pass the 10th standard. That was. After that, 12. Then I wanted to, when I was doing B, I wanted to get a job. I thought once I get the job, I get the salary, I will be happy. But then after that, once I got a job, I actually got the salary. Then I thought if I get married, I will be happy. And then one day I got married. Then one day I thought that if I got the children, that will make me happy. And then I thought I can have my own home, that will make me happy. Then own car, then furniture, that list is endless. Behind all these, basically I want to be happy and prosperous. If I am able to ensure this continued happiness and prosperity, I really don't want anything beyond that. I just want to stay happy and prosperous. If our desires are not unlimited or indefinite, the basic aspiration is for happiness, prosperity, and its continuity. Any question about this? Yes? Didi, please tell your name also. Okay. Yes.
Please, first your name, mention your name, and then after that you. I'm Sujani. I feel that happiness, there are levels in happiness.
Yes.
Like we say happy in general. We're talking about generalization of happiness. But I feel that there are different levels of happiness. Suppose you are accomplishing what you want, you feel immensely happy. Suppose you haven't got what you are aspiring for, and you have got a lesser one that you have expected, then your level of happiness decreases. So, you can't say you are always happy. If you are always happy also, there is a point where you cannot enjoy that happiness unless it is spiritual. So, you can't continuously say that you will always be happy. This is what I feel like, if I'm not wrong, I stand corrected.
So, in your question itself, you have put the answer, Didi, that it will not be continuous unless it is spiritual. We'll try to, in fact, explore what the happiness is. During, you can say, maybe to next session or tomorrow's session, we'll try to explore what is happiness and what are the different notions attached with the happiness. In fact, as the Didi was sharing, one of my assumptions is that if I'm continuously happy, I will get bored. We'll try to explore this. Is it the reality or it is my some assumption? Okay. So, Didi, please keep this question open. Sorry. Keep this one open. Sorry. Okay. So, any other sharing about this? Yes. Now, let us try to understand the process of self-exploration, process of verification. Whatever stated is a proposal, do not assume it to be true or false, but then what to do? Verify on your own right. we are sharing the proposals here. If we assume them to be true, means somebody they have come from some other state and they are sharing, they must have studied and these are true. Or I have made some assumptions, and when whatever that is being stated here, if it is directly opposite, I may think that no, they are saying something and this is wrong. Don't do anything of this. Don't assume this to be true or false, but try to verify this. Verify on your own right. And what is the process of this verification? It is a two-step process. In the first step, we'll try to verify it on the basis of the natural acceptance. The natural acceptance is an innate faculty available to all of us. With this, I will try to verify the proposal, that is a step number 1. And in the second step, I try to live according to the proposal, that is an experiential validation. I try to live according to that proposal. In this, there can be two, because first one is that in my behavior with the other human beings, I will try to live according to this proposal. And if it leads to the mutual happiness means I am also happy and other human being with whom I am interacting, that person also becomes happy, that person also becomes comfortable. That is the mutual happiness. And similarly, while working with the rest of the nature, if it leads to the mutual prosperity, all material things which I need, I get them from the nature. My food comes from the nature, material for the clothes, that cotton comes from the nature, material for building my home, making this one, for making my car, everything comes from the nature. Now, while working with the rest of the nature, if my need of the physical facilities is fulfilled and also the nature is enriched, that is leading to the mutual prosperity, means that proposal is right for me, and now it becomes a part of my right understanding. And as I start living according to this, it will lead to harmony in me. I will be comfortable, I will be happy. This is the process of self-verification. Otherwise, what we are doing? We are, in fact, even with our child, what is the process we are using? Do's and don'ts. Yes, I am your father or I am your mother. I know more than you. You simply do whatever I am telling you. But then many times what happens? Maybe as long as the father is there in the home, the child behaves differently. The moment father goes out, his behavior changes. As long as the father is at home, he may not touch the remote. The moment father goes, he will pick up the remote and start watching the TV. Happens or not? Why? Because this is a process, that is the process we are using. Sometimes that carrot and stick, do's and don't. This doesn't develop the right understanding in the child. In fact, for us also, the process required is process of self-verification, two-step process, verify on the basis of the natural acceptance, and in the second step, try to live experiential validation, live according to it. It will lead to the mutual happiness and mutual prosperity. Can we try this one? Living with the feeling of relationship with spouse. Let them do whatever they want, but I will be comfortable because I know that I want to live with the feeling of relationship. Is it possible? Yes, no? Yes, no? Yes? Living with these proposals helps me to understand that, develop the right understanding. In fact, this is the process which we are going to use for the entire value education. I can, in fact, even when we are sharing these proposals, whether it is at the college or at the family, we'll share this in the proposals and help the child or the student to explore. It can be as simple, maybe you can say, child is given a glass of milk by his mother, and at the hall, the child drinks that glass, you can say that milk, and he simply keeps that glass on that teapot. Many times, okay, then many times what we do, we shout at him, don't you understand, take that glass and keep in the kitchen. Then somewhere in the do's and don't, the child thinks that whenever father is telling, that is to be kept. But can we ask that child that beta, you're drawing that milk, now that glass is lying here, maybe if it keeps on lying, if some guests come, that will not look good. Similarly, maybe somebody's handmade touch, that one it will fail, that it can say may break. But instead of that, what do you think, if you just take that after drinking this, if you take that glass and keep in the sink, whenever the mummy sees, she will wash that one. What do you think, which is a better one? Keeping the glass lying like this, or on your own you take it to the kitchen, keep in the sink? Let the child explore. And now if he is able to see that yes, second is good, that I have to keep the glass in the sink, now it becomes a part of his right understanding, and that will be there for a long time. That is the process of self-verification, self-exploration. Yes, Bhaiya?
Sir, just wanted to know what you mean by self-verification.
Self-
The
ah.
basic, see, you are trying to explain a process,
Yes.
but then I just wanted to know what are you actually verifying and what is the context for the process of self-verification?
Yes.
I think so. There is a lack of clarity from my side, which
Yes.
probably I'm not able to go away.
Yes. So process, what I am trying to verify is these proposals. As we said, we are trying to, yes, let me, we'll discuss. Yes.
For his answer question, I'd like to give my own experience. When my son was 5, 6 years old, when I tell him that mother is a precious thing in one's life, he was not believing that. So she does a lot of sacrifices. One thing among those sacrifices is carrying you in her womb for 9 months. It's not a big task, he told. Then I tied a piece of brick to his stomach and I asked him to hold it for 1 day. He could not bear it for 10 minutes, then he accepted. That is one type of experiential validation through which he learned this human being was something like that. I could relate that. What is it, sir?
Yes. So what we are trying to verify is these proposals, because during this entire workshop, this entire value education, that proposals are, you can say, presented, proposals will be shared, and what we are saying is that whatever that is being said here, don't assume this is true or false. In fact, we are not doing it. For example, we are not telling you that you want to be happy. We are asking you, do you want to be happy or not? Do you want to be happy or unhappy? This is a question, this is a proposal for you. Then what you do, you ask yourself on the basis of the natural acceptance, do I really want to be happy or unhappy? And what is the answer? I want to be happy. Now the second step, not only that is the first, second step, now I will try to verify this through the experiential validation. Now I will live with the, you can say, with other human beings with a feeling of relationship, with a feeling of the trust, respect. In fact, that is what we call as justice in the relationship. What do you think, what a wife expects from her husband? I will just say, she wants trust or not? She wants her husband to trust her. Does she want her husband to respect her? And if her husband trusts and respects her, will she be happy? Yes. So when I say, when the proposal is, well, first question is trust, or we can say, or respect or disrespect, I verify on the basis of the natural acceptance. I say I want trust, I want respect. Now second, I will try to verify this. In fact, whenever I have this feeling of respect for somebody, I am comfortable with it. Whenever I am think of taking revenge for somebody, I want to teach somebody some lesson. Even when these thoughts are running in me, I am uncomfortable. Are you able to see this? And in fact, after thinking for 15 minutes, I may think that yes, all this is not required. Leave him, that fellow is like this. I'm not going to take this revenge. The moment I drop that idea, I become comfortable with him. Have you observed this? So that is the experiential validation. So what we are trying to verify is these proposals. First step, on the basis of the natural acceptance, and second, experiential validation, and work with the rest of the nature, mutual prosperity. Maybe I am constructing a home and I need to cut 2 trees. That is required. But what I can do, if I am cutting 2 trees, can I plant some 10 trees? Yes, because that every tree is related to me. In fact, as I know, that tree is purifying the air for me, converting CO2 to O2. So I am related to that tree, that is having certain purpose in this entire existence. I am cutting the tree, but what I can do, I can plant 10 trees, and I hope that when these 10 trees go, they will make up that for that lost tree. So need of my physical facility, my need is satisfied, and also I am enriching the nature, that is a mutual prosperity. And this is how we can develop the right understanding. It will not get developed in a day or in a 6 months or in a year. This can be the lifetime's job, and every moment it will be there. Yes. This is the process of self-verification. Even with our children also, in fact, we'll see that when you start with the society, a son or daughter who is above 15-year-old, they actually want to have the discussion with you. In department, what happens, if anything is there, we sit together and we discuss. Your son or daughter who is around 15-16-year-old, they want the same process with you. Even it may be related to them. Many times we try to impose the things on them. That doesn't work, and that is how slowly that child, that son or daughter, starts developing this feeling of opposition for the parents. Yes. So whatever stated, yes, Bhaiya, any question? Yes. But in fact, this particular process will keep on coming many times. We'll try to see this. So any other question is there? Yes. Bhaiya, your name also?
This is Natraj.
Yes.
You were saying about 40% marriages are being broken.
In metros.
In cities, metropolitan cities, and just now you were saying what wife expects from a man is trust. He expects his trust.
Yes, yes.
And one thing that got into my mind when I linked these two, that many marriages are being broken for simple reason of husband not telling his phone's lock password to his wife, like pattern or something. They try to hide. The lack of the transparency is leading to so many marriage failures.
In fact, but to have this trust, I need to understand these feelings. What is trust? What is respect? What is affection? In fact, when you start with the harmony in the family, we have the proposals for this, and we'll try to understand these feelings. I'm able to understand, I explore, I understand the feelings, I ensure the feelings within me that makes me happy, and then I share that with my relatives, and when they are able to explore, they also become happy. That is a mutual happiness, and that is the whole program, the relationship. We'll see that. Okay. Yes. 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 Didi, your name, please. Yes.
Like we are talking about mutual happiness.
Yes.
You are always understanding. Suppose I'm always understanding towards the other person,
Mhm.
and I feel that I'm happy. But like if it is not reciprocated, these understanding levels from that side are also very important. If there is not that understanding there, automatically it leads to misery on my part. I'm always understanding the other person is not understanding. What will happen? It doesn't give me any happiness.
Yes. In fact, this is about the other human being. When we start with exploring harmony in the family, definitely we'll take up this part. And secondly, one more point is that when we explore what the happiness is, okay, there again you can say reference to this will come. Please keep it open, okay. But we can just ask ourselves one question, that I want to be happy in continuity. If I am dependent on somebody else for my happiness, if I am seeking happiness from outside, can I ensure its continuity? We want to be happy in continuity. That is agreed? Yes, no? Yes. Second question is, then in that case, if I am dependent on, or if I am trying to be happy from outside, if I am dependent on somebody else for my happiness, can I ensure its continuity? Yes, no? We'll try to explore. So we'll try to explore. Okay.
Sir.
Yes.
My name is Dhanaprasad.
Yes.
If there is an understanding between Kauravas and Pandavas, there is no Mahabharata. If there is an understanding between Ravana and Rama, there is no Ramayana. Like in every family, there should be an understanding.
Yes. 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 Because that is what we really want. I can just that reference to Mahabharata, Ramayana is there, but I have a brother. I can just ask myself one question: do I want to live with the feeling of relationship my brother, my colleagues at my department, with my neighbor, with my son, with my parents? I can just check. Otherwise, my home can be now the next example for somebody. Instead of quoting from the Mahabharata, you will start quoting my home. Okay.
Sir, 1 minute, I'm not generalizing this. No, I'm particularly referring to the family regarding understanding. To take the workplace example, there are colleagues. So I'm understanding my colleagues and I'm extending my support to all of them. And at some point where that understanding is not reciprocated, do you think that we feel happy still? And you raised one point, I'm not contradicting you, but I'm trying to figure out where this happiness lies. It's not, as you said, our happiness should not be dependent upon others.
Yes.
That the part is okay. But when such type of situation arises, what should we do?
Yes, that we'll explore this. All this about other person, whether it is my family, my department, or my neighbor, or my autovalo, or my shopkeeper, or anybody else, including my mother-in-law. We'll see all these other persons tomorrow. Okay, and in fact, these are the same principle Bhaiya was asking, what is the process of self-verification, the process of the self-verification, process of the exploration. In fact, maybe just this workshop, just before this, at Coimbatore, when we were discussing about this car, etc., one Didi simply said, "Bhaiya, this car, etc." That is a physical facility, that is okay. But now I got these some, we can say, some problems with my mother-in-law. Tell me, I can say, what can be done about this? In fact, it is not when we say mother-in-law, when we say spouse, when we say all these, it means it may my brother, my mother. In fact, just now the bhaiya was sharing about, you can say that is how he explained to his son that how much care a mother takes care of her child. But in spite of that, isn't that each one of us at certain point of time had a feeling of opposition for our own mother? At least once I had this feeling of opposition for my mother. Yes, no?
May I interrupt you?
Yes, yes.
We don't oppose mom. We oppose her view, her idea.
Yes.
It's not opposition against the
Yes,
relationship.
yes. In fact, that is what we'll try to explore. Okay, that is what we'll try to explore. Yes. So, but now as we start exploring, as we start understanding, but in fact, first step will be to understand myself. What I am. I am a human being. But in fact, what we start these 4 levels, as we said now, we'll try to understand ourselves first. Am I only a body, or there is some other reality associated with me? I need to understand myself, human being, harmony in myself, and my desire, thought, and expectations. Then we'll start with family. And now maybe I'll be able to get the answers for all these questions. And again, you can say that is the process of exploration, and need to start finding this. In fact, that's why we can say whatever that is being stated here, don't assume this to be true or false. In fact, if you don't agree, means you start searching for that. Agreeing is the simplest way. That will not help anyway. When you start contradicting, when you start verifying, it will help all of us to develop the right understanding. Yes. So this is the way. Now, which process is naturally acceptable to you? A process of self-exploration, self-verification on your own right, leading to the understanding in yourself, or a process of do's and don'ts in which you assume what is said without verification? A or B? Each one of us wants to verify. Even your son or daughter also wants to verify. So content, same basic aspiration. The process, this is the content, basic human desire. Basic human desire is to be happy and prosperous. The process is self-exploration, and this is a 2-step process. And purpose of this workshop is to initiate, strengthen the self-exploration in you. That in a single slide, whole thing is sum up. So this is all, nothing complete. झाले का? अच्छा, so, ठीक.
असं दीदी म्हणायला आल्या.
किती वाजता?
3:30 वाजले.
3:30. हां, ठीक.
2 ते 3:30.
अच्छा, हां, ठीक आहे. Then we'll take the break. हां, ठीक आहे. नमस्ते.
म्हणजे मग आल्यानंतर
Ah, yes, okay. So, I think it is almost 3:30. So, yes. So, Didi, please.
So good evening, all of you. Now it is really 3:30. It's a tea break. Exactly by 3:50, you have to come back. You have to be inside. After tea break, no one have to be straight, please. Majority of the people are simply, but
Yes. Okay.
so please, tea is ready outside. You have to enjoy the exploration.
ठीक आहे, Didi. Session. मला वाटतं हा एक होऊन जाईल.
होईल.
हा होईल, हा विकम. याच्यामध्ये काय ठीक याच्यामध्येच आहे ना ऍक्च्युली ते इथून डायरेक्ट स्टार्ट
हा इकडे परत नंतर या पाहिजे तर आता ते हेच स्टार्ट करा.
हॅपीनेस अँड प्रॉस्परिटी आणि ते नोशन्स मला नोशन्स थोडे डिस्कस करायला लागते. हा तिथून त्यांना
नाही नोशन्सची पीपीटी मध्ये दुसरी असेल बाई.
हां हां
इकडे तर जायचंच नाही ना.
हां ते नाही जायचं. हां 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 ती मला वाटतं ते याच्यामध्ये आहे, पुढच्या याच्यामध्ये आहे.
हो ते करंट
हां
सिनारी.
करंट सिनेमा हां त्याच्यामध्ये
हे दोन्ही ओपन ठेवते.
हां येस. ते चौथा आणि पाचवा. बरं ते ग्रुप बनवलेत का दीदी?
नाही
अच्छा.
आता लगेच चालेल.
तर हां काय
आता तिकडे आपण घेतो ना तेव्हा फक्त ते नोशन्स 3 आहेत ना. आता इथे हे सगळं पण आहे. सोर्सेस ऑफ हॅपीनेस
सोर्स ऑफ
सगळं
हॅपीनेस
खूप आहे.
पूर्ण